Hello everyone, welcome to my Dark Souls NPC challenge run. In this series, we're going to ask the question, can you beat the game as various NPCs? However, after beating the game as a chosen NPC, the game will get harder as it goes to a subsequent New Game Plus run. So, let's strap on in and ask the question, can you beat Dark Souls as Siegmeyer of Catarania? For this run, I will be using the Catarina armor. I will be using the Zweihander, which is what Siegmeyer uses. I will have the Pierce shield, which I found out cannot counterattack, so that was going to make things interesting. I will be using the Speckled Ring for most of the run. And as Siegmeyer gives us Emit Force, we will be allowed to use Emit Force, though I didn't end up using it on any bosses. I just kind of played around with it in between. It was never really that useful. You will see at the beginning of the run that I have Sunlight Spear equipped. That was a holdover from my Solaire run, and I did not use it, I promise. I wasn't using any miracles at first, so I forgot to unattune it. So, starting off the run, I just kind of meandered through the asylum. I wasn't so sure where to go. It seems like someone named Oscar, I think, killed the asylum demon, so I just kind of wandered to the edge of the cliff, and I was looking out over the horizon as a bird just kind of snatched me up. I was dropped off at a place called Firelink Shrine, and I just kind of wandered around the map until I found this gate. I wasn't so sure what was going on with that, so I just kind of sat in front of the gate for a while and just kind of waited, had lunch, took a nap. When I woke up, I saw that the gate was open, so I just kind of wandered on through. Eventually, I found a way through this fortress that didn't require me to roll at all, which, I mean, I don't know, it just sounded like it would make my head spin. I wasn't too interested in doing that. Anyways, I just kind of got lost in this giant white palace, so I made my way back down to the Firelink Shrine, and there was this giant snake person, and I went to go talk to him, but I accidentally fell down the hole. And I felt kind of stuck for a while, but eventually this really nice guy named Solaire came down and he placed this giant cereal bowl and the gates opened up. So I just kind of wandered on down with Solaire and he attacked some dusty old dude and then he disappeared. So I walked on out of there and all these serpents were bowing down to me and calling me the Dark Lord, which I didn't quite understand why that was happening. No, but in all seriousness, on this run, we have a few special rules. One is we have to get all the help we can possibly get and not really help anyone else. I did end up helping Solaire through the game because I needed his help, right? But we were going for a minimum effort run. So that meant summoning every possible NPC and letting them fight the boss as much as possible, though I did step in here and there just to kind of give them a leg up. But for the most part, it was to try and let the summons just kind of fight the bosses and do just minimum effort. That being said, we started our run and we ran in to fight the Asylum Demon. I'm always a little embarrassed at how much damage I take against the Asylum Demon while I kind of figure out the moves and the new weapon and the new armor. After that, I made my way to Firelink Shrine, and the first thing I did was I opened up the map a bit and I headed down to Siegmeyer, and I killed my doppelganger. Sad to see Siegmeyer die, but there could only be one, right? After that, I made my way up to save Lautrec, and then I summoned both Lautrec and Solaire, and they finished off those gargoyles pretty easy. I did end up getting one swing in, but I really wish those guys would have let me fight a little bit more. I mean, they're glory hogs, right? After that, I wandered on down and killed Lautrec. He seemed like a villain to me. I went all the way down to Blighttown and was attacked by Mildred and killed Mildred. Then we headed on over to Quelaag and summoned Mildred, and we let her do most of the fighting as per usual. I mean, I can't hog all the glory for myself, but I did have to step in eventually. And after we killed her, I rang the bell. At this point, I did need to find Solaire to unlock his quest a little bit further so he could help me out in the future. So I had to go over and kill the Taurus demon and find Solaire. Strangely enough, though, he did not appear where I expected him, which was kind of sad. But we made our way through Sen's Fortress, and on this run I ended up keeping my armor on 100% of the time, which has not been a rule in the previous runs, but it just seemed like a very Siegmeyer thing to do. We made our way through Sen's Fortress, no problem. Going up top, we killed the giant, and then we summoned Black Iron Tarkus. Again, what is it with these adventurers hogging all the glory to themselves? But after that, a glowing ring popped on the ground. I didn't quite know what it does, but then I was attacked. No! We killed a gargoyle. We made our way through the rafters. We killed another gargoyle, and then we made our way up through the archers, which I gotta admit, I was pretty afraid of this part of the game, but actually we got through on our first try of the rafters and our second try of the archers, so that's not that bad. The armor didn't make me as slow as I had anticipated it would. After that, although we didn't have Solaire previously or at the bonfire in there, we were able to summon him for Ornstein and Smo, so that was a breath of fresh air. Round 1 against Ornstein and Smo, we were doing really well. Our weapons did a lot of damage, and we ended up significantly damaging both health bars unintentionally. Everything was going good, we just had to beat big ol' Smo, but he caught my fat butt running away from him. Round 2, we were able to successfully separate Ornstein and Smo, and drop Ornstein pretty early in the match. I was able to get Smo caught into a butt slam loop, which did a lot of work for me. The Zweihander is able to stagger Smo, which is something that I had forgotten was even possible after my last few runs with much smaller weapons. And ultimately, that's what won me the match. This was honestly the easiest Ornstein and Smo fight on New Game 4. After that, we got the Lord Vessel. We went on down to Ceaseless Discharge, and I expected him to be difficult because I was way too slow as Oscar. But maybe I was so slow that my moves were imperceptible. I had become completely invisible. Because he did not catch me. We went all the way to the end in our fat old armor, and then we were able to easily destroy Ceaseless. After this, I destroyed a weird-looking maggot. I went up to fight the Fire Sage, and again, we got him stuck in a butt slam loop, which is where you want to be on him. That did most of the work for us. And after that, I went down to fight the Centipede Demon, and I saw that we did not have Solaire, which I guess made sense to me. So this is the one part in the run where I broke a very important rule, and I took my armor off. Because, you see, with Siegmeyer, the armor isn't to protect him. It's to restrain his power. I went Ultra Instinct mode, and I went running all over the map, meeting Solaire in every place that I'm supposed to meet him, and then met him back at the Centipede Demon and was ready to rock on with my buddy Solaire. The Centipede Demon wasn't hard, the typical jank you expect of him jumping all around and being difficult to hit. After that, it was important to go fulfill part of Siegmeyer's story quest. We headed over to the Chaos Eaters. I wanted a nice cinematic battle of jumping down and fighting these things, so I used black fire bombs to weaken them, to just almost having no health whatsoever, so that I could jump down and be a hero and fight them. But in typical Siegmeyer fashion, I jumped right into the mouth of one as I was trying to do a plunging attack, and I died. So we ran back, and instead of pretending to be a hero, we just jumped down, no black fire bombs, and we fought them all pretty easily, actually. The Zweihander cuts through them like butter. But I found a better use for my fire bombs as we cheesed the bed of chaos with some fire bombs. We then headed down to fight Pinwheel in the catacombs, and he was a pretty easy fight when I could catch him. He was jumping all over the map, and I was swinging my sword all over the place, and I just could not hit the little bugger. But eventually I caught up with him and dropped him pretty easily. I made my way through the Tomb of Giants, and then we fought Nito, and once again, Nito got stuck in a loop. All the bosses got stuck in loops on this run, but he got stuck in this loop of spamming his energy attack, so I would just run up and hit him, run away from the energy attack, run up and hit him, run away from the energy attack, rinse, repeat, pretty much until he died. So he was that was the easiest fight I've ever had. I marched on over to Duke's Archives, had my typical death to Seath, made my way down through the Crystal Golems, and same thing, I nuzzled up into Seath, and was able to find a sweet spot right in the crick between his bulge and his tentacle. That sounded weird. And I was able to just smack him. I was so easy that actually I didn't realize that I had gotten cursed and I died. So I ran back. I died running back for my souls, and that's total Siegmeyer thing to do. But then I made my way back and nuzzled on in. This time I paid attention to my curse buildup, and I used some humanity to heal instead of my Estus Flasks, which was giving me some extra curse resistance. And that was Seath. Yeah, he died. After this, I thought there was only one thing to do, which was head down to the Four Kings and kill them. So I went down and got the key, I drained the lake, and then I was heading down to fight the Four Kings, and I realized that I did not have the Crest of Victorious. I have not killed Sif. So I cried a little bit. I teleported on over to Sif. We attacked the puppy, and you know what? He was being quite difficult to us. He kept jumping high up in the air where I couldn't hit him, but eventually we cornered him, we killed him, we got the crest, we headed back down, we fought the 4 kings. I had plenty of armor and poise to tank the kings, so we just kind of hacked our way through them, and that was the 4 kings. After this, we headed down to the Kiln of the First Flame. We summoned Solaire. We headed in and we let Solaire do all the heavy lifting against Gwyn, but he did need some help from us, and I didn't have the heart to just watch him die like he died so many times on the Solaire run. So we walked up and we popped Gwyn a few times, but ultimately Solaire did get the killing blow, and that was the Siegmeyer run. This was the fastest, quickest, easiest run of all the runs. The Zweihander just does so much damage. The armor of Catarina has plenty of armor and poise for you. And the added rule of having to have other people fight for you as much as possible was a sweet spot in the run. I did look forward to having a little bit of a lazy run as we are going all the way up to New Game 7. And so it was good to get an easy one under the belt, just kind of film the video, lock it down, get it in the can. And we are now heading into our Black Iron Tarkus run. You know, playing Siegmeyer was a lot of fun. He's a jolly old dude. He doesn't work too hard. He doesn't play too hard. Things kind of come easy to him with help from others. Yet, despite all of his little blunders and setbacks, he manages to meander his way through the world and count himself as a hero. I had Siegmeyer cast the world in darkness, kind of as a funny little joke. The thought was that he doesn't really know what's going on, so he just walked out of there without lighting the flame, because he didn't know what to do. I laughed, I had fun, this was a great run. If you guys also enjoyed watching this with me, make sure you like and subscribe, you hit that bell, and that way you can get notifications for our next run is Black Iron Tarkus, and then it's Paladin Leroy, and then it's the one that I'm really looking forward to, which is our Havel run on New Game 7. I think that's going to be a blast. That'll be another one that I keep my armor on the whole time. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.